If you're getting leads for your shed business, but sales still feels inconsistent, the problem isn't demand, it's the lack of effective systems. Leads are coming in from ads, phone calls, Facebook messages, and walk-ins, and you're still losing deals. Not because people don't want sheds, but because you don't have a real process to capture, track, and follow up with every opportunity you get. You're busy answering messages, taking phone calls, and somehow money is still leaking in the back end. What we see most shed businesses are missing is a clear sales pipeline, predictable lead flow, and a follow-up structure. This causes leads to stall, die, and eventually you hear back from them saying, yeah, I already got my shed somewhere else. By then, it's too late. In this video, I'll be breaking down why most shed businesses struggle to turn interest into actual sales and the exact automated systems 6- and 7-figure shed companies use to scale without chaos, missed leads, or burnout. This is the same exact system we used for our client, Caesar, to clean up his sales flow, tighten up his follow-up, and dramatically increase conversions without adding more to his plate. First, we'll identify the biggest bottlenecks you might have within your sales process, the exact points where leads fall through the cracks, follow-up gets forgotten, and revenue becomes unpredictable. Then I'll walk you through the system that fixes it, giving you clarity, control, and a process that works even when you're not glued to your phone. Now, before we get into it, make sure you subscribe. On this channel, we break down how shed business owners scale to high 6- and 7 figures using systems and automation that give them back their time and their sanity. With that being said, let's dive in. All right, so bottleneck number one we're going to dive into is not having a clear pipeline to track leads. Now, the problem here is when there's no clear pipeline, every lead looks the same. You don't know who just inquired, where they came from, who's serious, who needs follow-up, and who's gone cold. Now, this causes missed opportunities, slow responses, and having your leads hit you with, I already bought my shit somewhere else. At that point, it's way too late. So, how does this hurt your business? Hot leads get ignored or responded to way too late. Cold leads get no nurture and collect dust. You can't forecast revenue month after month, and scaling becomes impossible because nothing is repeatable and predictable. All right. So what we have is a solution to build a clear sales pipeline. And what we're going to do is create a structured pipeline that matches your actual sales process step by step. Right. So step number one is defining each stage. So step one, this is like a default pipeline of how you want it to look like. For example, you have new lead, then contacted, quoted, follow up, and won or lost. All right. Step two is every lead must enter the pipeline automatically through a form or manually input. Number three is move leads manually or automatically as they progress so you know exactly where they are and what needs to be done for that lead. And then number four is review your pipeline daily so nothing gets missed. So this gives you a full visibility into where every opportunity stands and removes the guesswork. Keeping daily visibility of your sales pipeline will get you to convert more customers without having your head spinning, trying to figure out who to follow up with next. All right, so this next diagram I'm going to show you is typically what you want your pipeline to look like, right? So here we have pipeline stage one is lead captured, right? So the main point of this is to capture essential information from every lead you come in contact with, right? So you may come in contact with leads that come through phone calls, walk-ins, the marketplace, Facebook Messenger, meta ads, or even your website, right? So that's a big place where leads may come in. Now, the essential information you want to capture is name, phone number, email, and preferably lead source. That lead source is going to allow you to know exactly where leads are coming from and where you can invest more in, right? Then we have step two, which is active lead, and that's usually when they have responded to your initial messages, right? So description, response to automated text messages, and is showing interest in your products. Step three is hot lead, and they're typically very interested in this stage, right? So here they either visited your lot or have a high purchase intent. Now here I put daily touches because this is usually where you want to focus most of your time on to secure the sale. Then you have four. Step four is purchased. This is going to allow you to know exactly that they purchased your product and at what point. Then you have delivered. So typically if you want to track this is important to know. This is where you know for a fact that the product has been delivered, the shed has been delivered to the customer. And then review requested, right? Typically when you have delivered the shed to the client, you want to send out a review request asking for a review, and eventually a referral. All right, so that's a basic overview of what you want your pipeline to look like, and that's going to allow you to keep track of all your leads going through your pipeline. Now, bottleneck number 2 is having no consistent lead generation. Now, if you don't have any leads coming in, then that's where you want to eventually focus on, right? So the problem here is many shed businesses rely on word of mouth, walk-ins, or random spikes of interest during busy seasons. But when lead slows down, stress goes up, right? So this hurts your business because revenue becomes unpredictable. You can't plan inventory or staffing. Growth feels like a gamble, and one slow month can wipe out your momentum. So the main solution here is to build a predictable lead flow using organic and paid marketing. Now, organic lead generation is going to focus on 3 simple ways so that you can start generating more organic leads over time, right? So this is typically organic means free. So this is the best way to plan on generating leads for free over time. Now, one is obviously asking for referrals to all your happy customers, consistently getting Google reviews, and optimizing your online presence through your website, through your Google business profile, social media, etc. Then we have paid lead generation, right? So how we personally were able to generate a consistent, predictable flow of leads were through meta ads, right? And that's Facebook and Instagram. And that actually allows us to target shed buyers. And then we also create simple offers that drive actual warm leads and not just clicks. The goal here isn't more traffic, it's steady, qualified leads that you can rely on week after week. All right, so this is what we have here explaining our organic marketing and paid marketing approach. So here we want to focus on reputation management, and this is our automated system we use. So knowing when a product is delivered is going to be super important so that we can message them back and make sure they're happy, right? So we do a check-in message a day or 2 after the product is delivered. And then in that message, we identify whether it's a positive or a negative outcome. If they say no, if they're not happy, or if it's negative reply, then we want to inform the business owner knowing exactly why they're upset and how they're able to fix it. But if they're happy with the delivery, they're happy with our product, then we want to send a review request so that they leave a positive review, typically, hopefully with a picture that allows you to gain more SEO reach. And after 2 weeks, we do a 2-week wait step, and then we ask for a referral through text message. This process allows you to automate reviews and referral requests, filters out potential negative reviews, and maximizes referrals, right? For every lead coming or every customer coming through your door. Then we have paid marketing, our paid marketing approach, which is our lead generation automated system. So what we use is meta ads. So that allows us to get more impressions, clicks, and leads. And then that pushes them to our Facebook lead form, which allows us to capture lead information for retargeting. And that would be their name, their number, their email. And since we already know where they're coming from, we don't have to get their lead source. And then we push them automatically into the pipeline tracking, into the pipeline. And that allows you to automatically send the initial follow-up message to hop on them as soon as possible. So this is just an example of what our Facebook ad looks like. We want to make sure we're having an engaging ad creative. So that's going to be the image that's shown or video. So we typically do videos mixed with images just to see what converts the most. We just make it super simple, showing the product, having a clear call to action, get a shed that is built to last with the headline and subheadline. And then we have our ad copy here going into more detail of about the product, what the business offers, and what is guaranteed when the product is delivered, right? So those simple steps are crucial for your ad to perform optimally so that they get pushed down the pipeline. Now we'll move on to bottleneck number 3, which is having no follow-up structure, right? The problem here is that most shed businesses follow up randomly if they remember. So one text, maybe a call, then they go ghost, right? And I know a lot of people like keep their leads on their phone and they don't keep track of if they followed up with them or if they're interested or if the lead told them to reach back out to me a month from now. They just forget because, business happens, you get busy and you forget. So how this hurts your business is leads go cold before buying, competitors win deals you should have closed, and you waste money on marketing that never converts. All this is avoidable when you have a structured follow-up system you and your team commit to. The solution here is to install a consistent follow-up system that everyone in the team follows. Now, here's what we're going to do step by step. Step number one, we're going to decide how many touches each lead should get, whether that be phone calls, texts, and emails. Number two is set timing, what time during the day and how often throughout the week. Then number three is automate a follow-up where possible. So we want to make sure we're automating this process as much as possible so we don't have to manually do a lot of the work. So step number four is personalize when needed, right? So we want to make sure we're personalizing the messages, personalizing the emails, the text messages, the phone calls we answer with a smile on our face, and we're reaching back out to them knowing what we spoke about previously, right? So follow-up should happen whether you remember or not. So it's essential. Most of sales actually convert through like 8 or 9 touch points. Here's the follow-up structure that we're using as an example. So here we have SMS and phone calls, what we do for follow-up for them. And so the very first step is when a lead enters the pipeline, we want to immediately send a follow-up text message and email, and then wait 15 minutes, send another text message, wait 2 hours, send another text message, wait 1 day, then typically we want to send an SMS and an email, wait another day, SMS, email, wait another 3 days for an SMS and email. So, and you can add as many other follow-ups you want. This really depends on how you want to work this follow-up process. One thing to keep in mind is you're not bothering them by following up with them. A lot of people may think this in sales, but one thing is most people are going to convert after 8 touch points, like I mentioned before. But also is you're not bothering them. You're actually trying to help them pick out the best shed for their needs, right? So you're doing them a favor by reaching out to them and actually trying to get them the best for their money's worth, so think of it that way. So next is phone calls. So once they enter the pipeline, the first day you want to call 2 to 3 times, once in the afternoon and once in the evening. And you want to also call immediately after they enter the pipeline, typically around a little bit after the first follow-up text message. The second day, you want to do the same thing, 2 to 3 messages, afternoon and evening. Third day, same thing. Then slow down, I would typically say to our clients, slow down after the third or fourth day, but continue calling 2 to 3 times throughout the day because you don't know what time typically they're busy. Those are the 3 main bottlenecks that could be holding your business back from actually seeing the amount of sales per month and like growing your monthly revenue. So final takeaway, if you don't fix these bottlenecks, your shed business will stay stuck in reaction mode and leads will continue slipping through the cracks. Follow-up will stay inconsistent. Revenue will rise and fall unpredictably, and you'll feel chained to your phone trying to stay on top of it all. The worst part, you'll keep spending time and money generating interest only to let deals slip through the cracks that you should have closed. The good news is that this is completely fixable with the right systems. So here's a simple execution plan you can start taking right now. So step 1 is build a clear sales pipeline. So you're going to do that by defining your sales stages. Make sure every lead is automatically captured and review your pipeline daily so no opportunities are missed. Then we have step 2, which is creating predictable lead flow. We do that by combining organic strategies like referrals, reviews, and online presence with paid ads that bring in steady, qualified leads every single week. Then step 3 is install a follow-up system that runs without you. Decide your follow-up cadence, automate your touches, and ensure every lead gets consistent communication until they buy or opt out. Now, when these 3 systems work together, you stop guessing, stop chasing, and you stop burning out. Instead, you gain clarity, control, and a sales process that scales, even when you're not glued to your phone. Now, if you know this is something that you need but want a team that can actually execute this plan for you, book a call with me and we'll identify exactly what your business needs to see the growth you're looking for. With that being said, if you have any other questions or want me to create any other videos specifically regarding any of the topics I covered here today, please leave a comment or let me know through Facebook or Instagram and I'll get to it and I'll come out with a video about that. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.